Hello and welcome to Chamber Chat, a partnership between WIMpeg and the Monmouth Independence Chamber of Commerce and Visitor Center. It provides an opportunity for the community to get to know our members outside of the workplace. Today, joining me, I have Dr. Brian Joynt, a chiropractic physician and owner of Joynt Family Chiropractic. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Jean. Appreciate it.
So just jumping right on in, we have a few questions for people to get to know you, both professionally and personally. Why start your business in the Monmouth Independence area? Why put Joynt Family Chiropractic here?
I'm glad you asked that. So, years when I was growing up, I grew up in South Salem, just up the road, and got to know a lot of the people in the community there. And recently, my wife and we raised our family, and we're in Albany now, which is our house from my office is 18 miles south of here.
So not that far.
Yes, and it's a great medium that I know people in West Salem and people in Albany and now the Monmouth and Independence community. It just brings it all together, and we're really happy to be here.
So you're very centrally located for the connections that you have, so it just makes a nice place for you to have your business.
Exactly.
All right, so looking at the Monmouth Independence area, since you are well versed in this area, what would you say is one of the special features for our community?
I like the fact that Monmouth and Independence is so well knit. It's like a small town feel, but yet you still have the university, and it's a small town feel for a medium-sized town.
You know, I've heard it referenced before that we are the small town feel with the big city amenities. When you look at what's available in our community, you really don't have to leave to go get anything. Everything you need is right here.
Exactly.
Which is very comforting, and you know, you have that small town feel, which people definitely like.
Yes.
So what has been one of your most successful, proudest moments professionally?
Professionally, well, opening my own clinic. I used to work at a clinic in Albany for 6 years and then decided to branch out on my own. So we opened Joynt Family Chiropractic just a block south of Burgerville on Highway 99. We opened up 3 years ago, and it's been steadily growing, getting to know the community more and more, and being able to actually work with the community and help out a lot. So I've been very pleased with where we've came.
All right, and you've been a chamber member, well, for as long as I've been with the chamber, and what would you say so far from your experience with the chamber has been one of the better benefits for you?
The biggest benefit from the chamber is just getting out to the chamber events and getting to know other chamber members, getting to go to the mixers and to the chamber forums and just talking to other businesses, see what they have to offer in the community and work with them.
So the networking component is what you find the most beneficial within your membership.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is actually a very common answer, the idea that you can go out. People do business with the people that they know, which is, again, part of the reason we're doing this series is it allows people to get to know our members beyond what they see in the professional setting. So the networking is definitely something that we find important from the chamber's perspective, and it's nice that our members feel the same. So switching to the personal side, what's been one of your greatest accomplishments personally?
Personally, well, my biggest accomplishment personally is marrying my wife, Jamie, just over 10 years ago. We have 3 young kids. We have Carson, age 9, Taylor, our daughter, age 7, and Maddox, he's 4. Personally, that has to be the biggest accomplishment. And then being able to also here recently volunteering in the community with different events and different committees, it's been really satisfying for me personally.
Well, right now we're at the beginning of October. It'll take a little bit before this starts showing on the local cable channels, but we just finished the end of September meeting Huffin Heritage Festival. I know you're a key component, particularly with the entertainment side of things. So how was the festival this year?
Festival, good. Thanks for asking, Jean. I brought in 8 different bands. We had 2 stages going on this year. We're trying to grow it more and more each year. Had the festival strictly down in the park this year. It's been growing, and the bands were great. We stuck with the time theme from 1856 to 1956, which you know is the time frame that independence was the hop capital of the world. And going with that genre, and my music that I provided also fit in that genre. So it was really nice.
Now, how do you go from being the doctor, the chiropractor, to setting bands and entertainment? What's the connection there?
There is no connection, Jean. Maybe you can help me try to find one. Because
is it a passion of yours to be involved with music?
3 years ago when I got asked to be part of the committee, that was one of the roles that someone needed help with. And I was like, I like music. Why not?
And you've done a good job with it. So
thank you.
There you go. Now, what would you say is a hobby or an interest? And this by far is probably one of my favorite questions. What What would you say is a hobby or interest that you have that might surprise people? For example, are you a great lasagna maker? Do you have a pet monkey? What kind of hobby or interest do you have that's really maybe surprising to people?
Well, besides hanging out with Gene and Tommy Love, I like to do athletic events, go to sporting events, of course, but also I like to participate in events. The main one is being triathlon. I've participated in 2 Ironman triathlons and 2 half Ironman triathlons, and in fact next year I'll be competing in my 3rd full Ironman distance in Arizona.
So what got you started with the triathlons?
When my wife was pregnant with our first child, I gained 25 pounds. Pregnancy weight, she wanted to eat for 2, I was eating for 2. Needless to say, after that, I swore that I'm going to start working out a little bit more, and triathlon was a great way for me to work out because I would just get bored with one aspect, but in triathlon you have swimming, biking, and running, and so it was a way of me incorporating all 3 of those.
And you obviously enjoy it, you're continuing to do it, and you said you're heading to Arizona?
Yeah, I'm going down to Arizona actually next month to volunteer at Ironman Arizona this year, and then participate in it next year.
All right. So what are some long or short-term, long-term goals that you have? Well, obviously the triathlon, but professionally, personally, what's in the near future for you, or the distant future? Which is easier?
As far as the near future, our business is expanding, and we're looking at possibly continuing to grow it, maybe even expanding the area of the building. As far as personally, we'll just continue to do what we're doing and grow as we grow.
Well, excellent. Well, Brian, you're definitely a great part of our community of what makes it special between your job, what you do volunteer-wise. So thank you for coming out and joining us today and being part of Chamber Chat.
Thank you so much, Jean.
All right, enjoy your day.
All right, you too. Have a great one.
Hi, and welcome back to Chamber Chat. Joining me now, I have Quinn Maukonen, who is the Employment and Resource Specialist with HALO. Thanks for being here, Quinn.
It's my pleasure, Jean.
So tell me about your job. Why work for HALO? Why work in the Monmouth Independence area? Why here?
Why here? So my husband and I made a 5-year plan a couple years ago, which included buying a house up here in Polk County because he was working for Polk County. And since we were living in the county, I really wanted to give back to the county I was living in. I had always worked with young adults, and this opportunity just kind of fell in my lap. So really hit the head with what I was looking for, being involved in the community I was living in and working with young adults, helping them help themselves.
So tell us a little about what you do with HALO for those who may not be familiar with HALO itself and your role there.
Sure. My role with HALO is I help young adults achieve their career goals, which is a really big process. It could take getting their GED and then pursuing college or training, or if they finished high school, gaining some work experience so they have those soft skills so they can make themselves marketable and contribute to our workforce.
All right, so definitely not a quick trip for many, I would imagine. Because when
No.
you're that age, how do you really know what you want to do, who you want to be when you grow up, that type of thing? And so it's great that you're there to help guide that path for them.
Absolutely. We try to give them a safe place to change their mind and know how to make the right decisions to change their direction, because like most people that age, they are going to do that, and that's the normal thing. A lot of them don't feel comfortable saying, oh, wait, no, that's not right for me, because they think they need to be on a straight path. And we say, no, path can go like this.
Now, HALO moved, well, it's been several months at this point, but you moved, you're over at the Henry Hill Education Resource Center. How's that working out with that location?
It's working great. It's really nice that the Central School District invited us in. It's a great location. We're close enough to the bus route where people from Dallas can still make it to us without an issue. Independence and Monmouth, they know right where we are. It's actually easier to tell people where we are now because we can just say, oh, the old Henry Hill, and they're right there. It's great. It's really wonderful for networking as well.
Now, you said you and your husband, you chose to live in Polk County because of his job. And where were you coming? You were moving from where?
Benton County, which we actually are back there now because the 5-year plan was for him to end up going back to school. And so he is back in school getting his second bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering. So we're back in Benton County, but I still want to be working in Independence. I really, really like this area.
So what's been one of your greatest professional accomplishments, would you say, thus far?
Thus far, in all honesty, Halo has probably been my greatest accomplishment. I actually did not finish my bachelor's degree, and I was able to still gain employment through my work history and my passion of working with young adults, and they hired me, and that made me so excited. And so then seeing all the success with the students, because I can talk to them about choices that they're making and the effect it will have. Because when I left college, I only had 2 terms left until I had my bachelor's degree. I knew the choice I was making. It was not an easy choice to make, but it was the right choice for me. And so I'm able to turn around and use that with our youth, which then watching them have their successes, that's kind of my success.
So we had Tammy McCammon, who is the director for Halo, previously was on Chamber Chat, and she has an interesting personal story as well with her passion for working with Halo. And it sounds like just what Halo provides for the students that you have is equally matched by what it provides for the employees.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think we have such a solid group of staff at our organization, and all of us are so passionate, and what we take away from our job fulfills our life completely. It's pretty awesome.
That's great when you wake up and you're happy to go to work every morning and like, yeah, you're going to go and conquer the day.
Exactly, it really is. It's like, oh, I get to have coffee and go to work. Yay!
So now what about personally? What's been one of your greatest accomplishments personally?
I keep talking about this. My husband going back to school, that really is a great accomplishment for us, and I'm very proud that we can make it happen. I take a lot of pride in the fact that I am able to provide for us right now so he can be pursuing his dreams. It is really great to watch my husband walk out the door every day excited to go to school, because that wasn't ever me, and that wasn't him the first time around. He does have a first bachelor's in math, but he wasn't excited about it. Now he's excited about it. So personally, that's my accomplishment that I really appreciate.
So mechanical engineering is what he's studying. That just sounds...
Mechanical engineering, and it's great, because if something breaks in the house, honey.
Right. Nice little side benefit, I guess.
It is. It's a nice side benefit.
Now, you are involved with the Chamber. You come to a lot of our mixers. You're doing a great job of helping to put out what Halo does, building those relationships with our local businesses and other organizations, so that Halo has that partnership. What would you say so far from your experience has been one of the greater benefits of being a Chamber member?
The mixers are really great because people have great ideas. They want to know more about Halo. And then just that networking and that partnership, like you said, naturally kind of happens because we're all there for the same intent, to better the community. And so that is so enjoyable, and it's great to see happen, and the partnerships that have developed out of that for Halo have been tremendous.
And I enjoy watching that. As doing monthly mixers is something we started last year, and watching the people who have formed those connections and those partnerships. And it's just fun. Instead of people walking in kind of looking like, oh, hi, how are you doing? Now it's like, oh, Quinn, hey, and there's just this light conversation. So I'm happy to hear you say that. The mixers are fun for me, as you know, to people watch, if nothing else. What do you think is a great feature or a special quality about our community here for Monmouth Independence? What really makes us stand out?
Monmouth Independence and Polk County as a whole, I really value the partnerships that people are willing to do. I think that people are willing to help each other. It's definitely that small community feel where if someone says, I need something, or I have someone who I have to help, but I don't have the means, someone else is going to step up and do it. That's such a valuable asset to this community, and it's something I really enjoy being a part of. It's why I'm still staying here, even though we're back in Benton County.
Well, we're glad to have you here. So.
Thanks.
Now, this is, I keep saying this, and it's true. My favorite question of the series of questions I go through with these, what is a special interest or hobby you have that might surprise people?
Well, so the one that doesn't surprise people, because they hear me talk about it all the time, is soccer. I'm passionate about soccer. The one I think that does surprise people is that I'm a rock hound. I love rocks. My husband and I, we will travel all over Oregon to find rocks, anywhere from obsidian to thunder eggs to jasper, agates. That's what we enjoy doing. That's how we spend our free time, and we tumble them and cut them and do all sorts of fun things with them.
So what do you make from them?
I typically do wire wrapping and hang them out of a window, and then some jewelry, but not a whole lot, because I have little hands. It's kind of hard to do. So
that could be a side job for you. You can start making jewelry out of the stones that you find.
And then sell it. No.
Yeah. Just add that to your to-do list.
Right, because I don't have enough.
Correct. Now, right now there's a lot of conversation going around tourism for our community, and you said you live in Benton, you're familiar with Polk County. What would you say from the tourist perspective really helps jump out for Polk County? Because there are a lot of things to do. So just off the top of your head, what would you say are some of those things that really jump out for our community?
I really think Main Street and Independence is really coming along. The other day, I had the pleasure of walking around and talking to all the businesses for our event we just had. And I just really was taken aback by how pleasant everybody was and what a nice day it was to just walk around, have coffee, and pop into every cool little business we have there. It's a beautiful waterfront. The park is amazing. I think that's a really great tourist draw. And I think Independence and Monmouth are both fortunate that it's right there.
That's a nice answer. All right, City of Independence, did you hear that? Excuse me. So looking, say, towards the future, any kind of goals that you have, for Halo, for yourself, anything exciting on the horizon?
Well, hopefully in 2 years my husband will be graduated, yay, and have a job. That would be great. For Halo, we're looking at starting our work experience cohort, which is going to kick off in the 3rd week of October. And we're hoping to place 5 of our youth in the work experiences and then watch that grow. Our intent is to have 3 cohorts like that this year and then expand it to 4 next year with twice as many participants. So that's kind of the big thing I'm working on right now at Halo. I'm really excited about it. It's going to be great to continue to partner with the community partners here in Monmouth and Independence, and it's going to be fun.
Now, one of the projects they recently did, well, last year I guess it was, in 2013, some of the sidewalks that were laid, that was a Halo project, or partnership Halo project, right?
Yeah, so that's Halo partners with United Way, Job Growers Incorporated, City of Independence, SEDCOR, and Habitat for Humanity, and it's called the Youth Learn and Construct program, and that will be happening again in January. And that's a work experience cohort opportunity offered through the entire youth opportunity system. So that can include youth from Yam Hill, Marion, and Polk County. It just happens to happen here in Polk County. And then, yes, we go around and fix sidewalks for people who qualify for that service. So,
well, that was nice, just driving down the street and seeing the progress every day. And you're like, oh, wow, and all of a sudden you had this nice sidewalk. And what a great experience, a hands-on learning experience for the kids. And you get nice sidewalks as a result. It's a win-win.
Well, and it was tremendous for the kids as well. The majority of those groups that have done Youth Learn and Construct, I would say 3/4 of them are now gainfully employed.
Wow, that's even better.
It's a pretty great success, and we're hoping to do the same thing with our work experience. So
super. Well, Quinn, thank you so much for your time today. It's gone really quickly, and I really appreciate you being here, and good luck with everything in your future.
Thanks, Jean.
Hi, and welcome back to Chamber Chat. Joining me now, I have Miranda Garrison. She is co-owner of Arena Sports Bar and Grill. Thanks, Miranda, for being here.
I'm glad to be here.
Now, if memory serves, you are from this area. You've lived in this area for a very long time.
Yep, I've lived here for 14 years now.
Okay, so it's definitely home.
Yeah.
And Julia, who is your partner in the business, she did Chamber Chat a few weeks ago with us, and I know her answer. I have a feeling it's going to be very similar to yours, but why become a business owner in Monmouth Independence? Why this community?
Well, because this is our home. You know, I moved here for college, and I ended up staying here. We met my husband and bought our house here, and it was just good to do business where you live. You know, it's really convenient. First of all, I can walk to work, and
that's nice.
And I know everyone in town. I know all my regulars. I know all the, the distributors, and it's good to walk down the street and still see them outside of work.
So when you had the opportunity to become the owner of Arena, it was certainly an opportunity that you wanted to take. You didn't want to pass by on that one.
No, definitely did not want to pass by on that one, yeah. The current owner was ready to retire. She owned it a very long time, and we were at the right spot at the right time. So it worked out very well.
And congratulations on that.
Thank
you. Your own business owner has to feel pretty good.
Yeah, we worked there a long time, so it's nice to make that next step, that progression in life. Like you start out just the worker, and now the owner. It's a good progression. I like where it's going.
So what would you say has been your greatest professional accomplishment so far?
It was probably the day that we signed the papers at Arena. Like, you know, we had, because before you talked about it, we'd planned it. We had looked at other places, and then, you know, we had our stumbles trying to buy Arena. But when we finally just, you know, sat down in the lawyer's office and signed everything, it was like, yes, we made the first step. It's done. The first step is in motion, and that's always the hardest one, the first step.
Sure.
So it was a pretty good accomplishment.
So you had that excitement of
Yeah.
it's done, and
Yeah.
then you have the, oh my goodness, it's done.
Yeah, it was a pretty big day.
Like
it
a
was,
5-second roller coaster ride.
yeah, exactly.
Now, what about Mom with an Independence? What do you think's a special feature? What makes this really stand out in this community?
Well, I like Mom with Independence because there's the diversity that's here. We have college students, we have, you know, blue collar workers, we have people that commute from Salem and Corvallis, and there's just everything here. You know, there's a little bit of everyone, which is nice. It makes a great community, and I think that's one thing that I really like about Mom with an Independence.
I've enjoyed that. Someone who is not from here originally, that's something that definitely I enjoy, of going into different places of business and just seeing the different walks of life, and
Yeah.
it's just nice, the interactions that you can have.
You know, and I think it makes a really strong community that, you know, understands other people and in their needs and works to help them. I mean, it's great. I love it. It's wonderful.
That's great. What would you say has been one of your greater personal accomplishments or successes?
I thought about this question, and I was like, well, because I have, like, you know, of course, having my kids or me and my husband, and I was like, well, how did I get on that path? And I was like, really, it was my decision to come to Western. Like, it was my first major decision that I made as an adult. You know, you're younger and your parents make your choices, but when I went to college, that was like my choice. I chose where I wanted to go and stuff, and that has kind of led me to where I am.
That's a great answer. That if you had not chosen to go to
hadn't
Western,
chosen
you would have not
Western-
met your husband. Therefore, you would not become the mom. You would not be the business owner.
Yep.
It all started with the decision of going to Western.
Yeah, and I mean, I love Western. My, you know, 7 years for my bachelor's was the best. It was good, you know, and it really led me on the path where I am, and I think I'm so happy I went to Western every day.
That's an awesome answer. So, okay, Western people, are you paying attention to that one?
Yeah.
So, what would you say is a unique or different hobby or interest that you have that might surprise people?
I don't know. Most people know me pretty well. I'm pretty open. I don't. I think a lot of people wouldn't know that I actually have a really extensive cookbook collection, and I read cookbooks like books. I just sit down with a cookbook and I'll read it, and I'll think about the different way things go together, and people think it's odd, but
Do you
but it's
actually
and I
cook
make
the-
yes,
you
and I
use
do,
the
and I
recipes?
use them, and I like to make different things all the time. Like my husband's like, it's great. It's always a variety at our house.
So the cookbooks, are they, you go from the older ones?
I have
up
all of
to
them. I
any
have
kind
some
of
from the
generations
1800s. I have some from 70s to brand new, and I have them all. I love them.
and- my mother had a cookbook that she started when she first, kind of, get on your own and all. And my grandmother had actually used part of it. It was a Southern Living cookbook.
Oh, okay.
And it was one of those things where each month you would get more sheets to add. It would come in the mail, and you would put it into the 3-ring
I have
binder.
a couple of those.
And I've looked at it, not recently, but I still have it. And you look at some of the recipes, and the products don't sell the
They
same
don't sell them
product sizes
anymore,
anymore. Not only can you not find the product, but the size of it as well. And it used to be maybe a 16-ounce can, and now it's a 14.5-ounce can. Or so it's just a lot more math to have to use.
It is, or like, yeah, they used to use like the number 7 can. Okay, well, I don't know what the number 7 was, so I have to look that up.
Yeah, then you look at the pages where my grandmother and my mom have written in like, oh, don't do 2 of these, do 3, or whatnot. And I just, maybe I should let you read it, because it just kind of sits right now on the shelf and
I
not
will
used.
help you decipher that. Yes, it's good. They're a lot of fun. And then I think that I love to cook for people too. Like every time people come over, I cook a lot of food, and it's a lot of fun, and I enjoy it a lot.
So now, looking at back to the professional side, you and Julia, since you, well, even before you officially became the owners of Arena, you've been involved with the chamber. You've hosted a mixer. You've
Yes.
come to some of our networking opportunities. You've donated gift certificates and whatnot. What would you say for you, from your perspective, has been one of the greater benefits of being a chamber member?
I think that being a chamber member has really let me meet a lot of other business owners, and it's allowed me to make AREM better. We've partnered up and done special events with other business owners, which is a lot of fun for AREM, and we get new clientele from them. And they get clientele from us. Like, people are like, oh, I didn't know that shop was in town. But I'm like, oh, yeah, it is. You should go over there. And then also just bouncing ideas off other business owners is a lot of fun. Like at the mixers, I love doing that. Because, business owners are a little passionate about what they're doing. And
they can be.
Yeah, when you get a whole bunch of us in a room together, a lot of good things can happen. And I like that. It's a lot of fun. It enlightens my mind and shows me different things that could happen.
Well, it is nice watching business owners chat and not only just get to know one another as individuals, but when you start sharing ideas or having the conversations about business itself, that's a great point of what we want our networking opportunities to provide. So knowing that it's happening and that you've benefited from it, and, that's what we want to hear.
Yeah,
and we want to encourage more people to experience that.
Oh yeah.
To participate, to help. Because an idea you have may not work for you, but it may be the right idea for someone else.
Exactly, and that's what's great about the mixers and all the functions that you do. And then also, like, you do the tours of the different businesses, just learning about the different businesses, and then like who works there, and then I can know who's working there, so I can better serve them.
Yeah, we did start that this year with sort of a tour of Polk County, not just Mountain Independence, but Polk County, of providing. For one of our monthly forums, of actually having it at a location where instead of having a guest speaker, the guest speaker is that host site, and they provide a tour. For example, a few months ago, we went to LK, or Medallion Cabinetry, but LK, and there are a lot of people who you drive by it, it's there, but never been on the inside. And we got to see what they do there. We got to go in and see the assembly line, the process of it all, and it was very interesting. And
exactly,
that's not your normal, hey, I'm going out for a meeting type of thing.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, well, and then you know more about the business and what their needs are, so you can, adapt yourself too. I mean, it's a good system.
Yeah.
It works well.
So looking at, talk about the diversity of people that live in Monmouth Independence, from more of a tourism perspective, if we were looking to bring people and engage them in our community in Polk County as the greater whole, what would you say are some of the drawing points for that?
For drawing tourism, I think that we just need to highlight how there is a lot here, a lot of different things going on. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, well, that's where Western is. I'm like, no, there's a lot more than Western here. We have, a beautiful riverfront. We have lots of biking area and wine tours. And I think that highlighting that there's just a little bit of everything here.
Sort of a smorgasbord of things to do.
Yeah, exactly. We have family stuff. We have adult things. We have, there's always something going on around this town.
This is true, particularly in the summer months. It's really
there's
busy.
Always something.
And then you're looking at non-summer months, and there's still plenty of opportunities for people to do outdoor type activities. There's certainly, like you said, the wine tasting, the indoor type activities. But tourism is a nice conversation that's happening right now in our community.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get a little feedback on that. So thank you for your time.
Oh, no problem.
So well, and any big steps coming up? Any big highlights coming up in the immediate future for you?
Well, we're having our Paps and Tats raffle that's coming up on the 18th. So we're getting ready for that because that's a big event, and you can win lots of fun stuff.
So that's at Arena.
At Arena on the 18th, and we're just getting that together, and then getting our next raffle together for in December. And
okay, so October 18th, and then you'll have something else coming up in December?
Yep, December 6th, we'll have another raffle. So.
All right. Well, Miranda, thank you for being here and being part of Chamber Chat and letting people get to know a little bit more about you.
Thank you for letting me be here.